guys, and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we're going to be trying out some different e.l.f. products, including this eyeshadow palette and the new Fenty palette. Yay! And I am going to do a makeup tutorial on this look right here. I got it with those two palettes. So if you want to stick around and find out how I got this look and my pass or fail on all of these products, stick around. Keep watching. Smooches. What's up, guys, and welcome back to my channel. So I have done one eye already, and I've done my face. We're just going to recreate this eye on this side, and we're going to try some new products out. So let's hop right into it. I am using, I will show you, the e.l.f. palette. It's Mad for Matte eyeshadow palette in Holy Smokes, and it's got these shades. So you see. I wanted to, no, I'll get to that in a sec. Okay, and then we're using the new Fenty palette, which is just stunning. Now this palette, you obviously, it's not a palette that you're going to use on its own, because all of the shades, except for the one, I want to say, and I'll swatch them at the end, all of the shades are basically, you know, glitters or shimmers or whatever, so you don't want, you're not going to wear them all by themselves, obviously. So you need some sort of a matte palette to go with it. I mean, makeup is makeup. You can do however you want, each his own. But generally speaking, you're going to want a matte palette to go with it. So I did want to try out the matte eyeshadow palette on here because it is new. And, you know, I love trying out my e.l.f. stuff. And I've got a few other e.l.f. products that I wanted to try out on here and give my thoughts and opinions. So we are going to dive into it. I also wanted to do this look so that it's something that everybody could do. And these are shades that most people have in their collection of. So if you don't have the e.l.f. palette, you can, and you just have the Fenty palette, excuse me, you can still recreate this look with something that's similar. So I kept it very kind of basic, so that, you know, like I said, these colors are pretty universal. Everybody's got some variation of them in their collection. So moving right along, first things first, I went in with this shade here as basically a transition shade. I did this one first and then this one kind of right on top of it. I kind of blended the two. So I'm going to do that now. I am going to tell you, most of my brushes do not have names or numbers on them. So I will tell you, I'll show you what they look like so you can kind of figure it out for yourself. This is, most of them are natural hairs as well. So this is a Kylie brush, and this is the one I used for my transition shades. So first things first, I am going in with this one. All right. Okay. Also, I almost forgot. I did use a primer already on my eyes, and I was trying out this new guy by e.l.f. It's an eye primer and liner sealer duo. And I used the primer on my lid, this primer. And I will tell you, I was not fond of it. It wasn't good. So that I definitely give a thumbs down. We will use the the liner sealer as well, and I'll give you my thoughts on that. Okay, now I'm going to go in with the next shade, which is this one. This kind of like, I don't even know. It's just a kind of a good transition, but I wanted to mix the two. So again, right on top of that. And I'm not going to use too much of this one. Just a little bit, as you see. Okay, moving along. Now that we've got that shade down, I'm going to grab in the next brush, which I'm just going to take this e.l.f. I'm trying this brush out as well. It is a blending brush by e.l.f. and I will list it below. It's a nice little blending brush, and I'm just gonna blend out those edges a little bit. Okay. Next, I used Morphe, another natural brush. Wait, was that the one I used next? No, I used the same, I used the same Kylie brush. My bad. And the next shade I'm going in with is the next one next to it. But this one I'm going to start working down closer to the lid. I'm going to keep it a little tighter. Okay, again, using that e.l.f. blending brush. Just gonna clean up the edge. All right, and I am keeping it nice and tight in this zone. I'm not going past the end of my eye. Okay, lastly, now I'd like to use this little Morphe brush. The fibers on it are just really, I don't know, soft and flexible. It's not as stiff as the others. So I get more of a wispy, gentle stroke with it. And I'm going to use this darker brown right here. And that one I am just going to keep very much in the crease. I want it nice and tight in the crease, and you'll see that gives that definition line right there. So very light. I'm dipping in very lightly into here. I'm just tapping very lightly and going in very soft. And just keeping it in the crease. Now I'm going to go in with the Fenty palette. But first, I'm going to take some glitter glue, and I'm using the NYX glitter glue. And I just put some on the back of my hand, just a little dollop. And then I take a nice flat, tight brush. And this is just a no-name brand. Nice flat brush, as you see. And I'm just going to put this on my entire lid. And make sure you keep it nice and tight and don't go up onto the crease. If you do, just wipe it off. And then I'm gonna kind of bring it out a little bit, as you see, to like a cat's eye kind of a point. Just with my brush right here. And make that nice little point on it. Okay, now I'm going to take the same brush and I'm going to use in the Fenty palette this one right here, and I believe, yes, this one is called Mars on Fire. It's a nice champagne shade I like, which goes really nicely with the browns. And I'm going to pack that on the whole lid. Okay, now when we get to that corner, we're gonna bring it out in that triangle motion to kind of make it look like a cut crease, sort of. And now you see you've got it going into, like, it looks like a cut crease, sort of. And then I'm done with that part. Now, on to the next. What I'm going to use is this liner sealer. Now, I did use it on this side to create this, and I'll show you how it works. It's on the other end. And as you see, it's like a felt tip. It's still black from me using it before. It's felt tip. And then it's wet with this fluid, which you then can dip into any eyeshadow. I'm going to use black right here on the palette, just plain matte black. And you'll see I was not crazy about this. You'll see what I'm talking about. I even tried using it on a liner brush, and even that didn't come out very well. But you can fit another brush in there if you want to. But you'll see my struggles. It just does not work the greatest. I feel like you really have to keep going in and going in and going in. And at that point, I'd rather just use a liner. See, to get it really opaque, you got to keep dipping in and dipping in and dipping in, and it's just kind of a pain in the ass. So for me, this was a a fail. I'm not crazy about it, but in order to get the same look as the other side, I'm going to use it and show you how I'm not real crazy about it. I just don't feel like you can get as precise a line as you can also with the other, with a regular liner and a liner brush. Now I gotta dip in again because it's just constantly dipping in and dipping in. All right, and then you know, because you're constantly dipping in and whatever, now the felt tip is it's no longer nice and sharp. It's starting to fray a little bit on me. And see how it's kind of not, it's just not nice and precise like I want it to be. I don't know. I mean, you can make it work, but I would rather just use liner. I am not crazy about this. All right, now that part is done. Then what I did was I went in with just a soft brush. Oh, that's what I used. I used this little brush, any brush you want to use though. I'm just going to take this white and hit the brow bone softly just to give it a nice little base. And then I went very gently with this white shade here, which is, it's called Ozone, and it's this one right above. And very lightly, just very, very lightly, tap a little bit and slightly hit your brow bone just for a little pop. Just for a little shimmer to tie it in. Okay, and then what I did was to blend the two together. I took that first Kylie brush and just kind of blended in up here. To blend it and get no harsh edges. Okay, so you can see that. Now, on the lower line, I took a Kylie pencil brush. And I'm sorry, I used this one first. I took a fluffier pencil brush. This is the E10 by Mikasa brushes. And this one's a natural brush, but it's just a softer pencil brush, sort of. And I took that, where is it? This softer brown shade, the one in the middle here. And I did my whole lower lash line with that. Very gently and softly. Just to give it a little base. And then I took the Kylie pencil brush, which is synthetic, but it's a much tighter brush, as you see. And I took that darker shade, and I'm just going to focus on the outer corner more so. just a little bit. And then I'm taking that first one, the first pencil from Mikasa, and I'm just going over them both to blend. Okay, then I do this from time to time. I use this, I have a, who's it by? Nude Sticks. It's a medium number 4 concealer stick, and that's what I use on my inner waterline for that pop to open up my eyes, because it's not as stark white as a white, and it's got that nude color, but you see how it just like opens the eye up a little bit. And then I am trying out this e.l.f. brightening eyeliner in black, and it's cute because it came with a little sharpener. So this is new. Here's the little cute little sharpener that says e.l.f. And this I'm just going to keep close to the lash line. And this is a really nice liner. It goes on so easy. I was quite impressed. And you can warm it up on a paper towel or your hand if you need to. And it doesn't have to look perfect because I am going to smudge it. Okay. And then I have a smudger, if I could find it. I have this smudger, but whatever smudger you have will work. And I'm just going to smudge it out a little bit, blend it in. Last but not least, I'm going to take a small brush. I like this small Morphe brush. It's a little tiny guy. Again, they don't have any numbers on them, and I don't know why, but they should. And I'm going to take that same ozone color up here that we used on the brow bone, and I'm going to put that on the corner, inner corner. But this one I'm going to wet a little bit with some setting spray to try and hold the glitter together so you don't have all that fallout down your face. Because this stuff does have serious fallout from it. Which is why you want to use like a lash glue or something like this. And then there's your inner corner, and you see how vibrant it is. And I don't have a ton of glitter all over my face, so that helps. Now, last but not least, I like to take that soft Morphe brush that I showed you that we used for that dark color, and I go with that dark brown one last time and just hit the crease to really darken it up and define it and clean up any of that glitter that may have transferred to the top part of your shadow. And then last but not least, I use that same Kylie brush and just blend to make sure sure it all blends together and no harsh edges. And then we're gonna pop on some mascara and I'll be right back. I'm gonna do that off camera. Okay, and that's the look, as you see. A little trick I did use, also I used this e.l.f. I always mix my highlighters, so I used this e.l.f. Shimmering highlighting powder in Starlight Glow, which is kind of a more subtle highlight. And I used that everywhere as a base, and then I hit on top of it with the Kylie Queen Dust Powder because this has some glitter in it. And the reason I did that, I very lightly hit on top. As you see, it's got packs a hell of a punch, but it's also got the little bit of glitter particles in it. So if you do get a little bit of glitter fallout, I feel like it won't be as noticeable because you've already got glitter on your face. That's just my little thing. I used my Benefit Roller Lash on my lashes, and on my lips I used this Melted Matte by Too Faced in the shade Granny Panties, which is a nice color. It matches my sweater dress, and it's a nice neutral to go with this look. Again, I went with this look because it's very simple, as you see, to do, and it's pretty much something that you can recreate from home, whether or not you have, whatever, these are nice universal shades that everybody usually has in their collection, and it's a nice fall look. And simple, but it looks very glam because of the glitter. Now, overall, I thought that these eyeshadows were wonderful. They're a great buy. I will list all of the prices below. I like to do that. Yeah, everything blended really easy. It's a nice, neutral kind of palette that's great for a great smoky eye. That was a thumbs up. This thing I thought was a waste of money. I was not impressed with this. The eye primer and liner sealer. Honestly, I feel like you can just do this with some setting spray and a liner brush in any liner. You really don't need to use that. I wasn't crazy about it. I'm in love with this Fenty palette. I am going to swatch all of these, and I will take some pictures, and they'll be at the end of the video. I know this video is long as hell as it is, so I don't want to hold you up too much. But I will take some pictures of swatches of both palettes so you get a full view up close of what they look like. I love this because I feel like between this and the Glitter Bomb palette by Too Faced, I pretty much have all my glitters covered. The one shade that I was talking about, all of these seem to have like duochrome or different shades to them, like between glitter and the shadow itself. But this one blue shade down here, which is actually called Space Out, this one is the only one out of the bunch that I really didn't see any glitter out of it. It was more of a metallic. You'll see what I mean when I swatch, when you see the pictures of the swatches. All the rest have like very glittery, pigmented glitter in your face, but that one was more of a metallic. The formula was different somehow. I don't know why or how, but it was what it was. Moving along, the e.l.f. black liner, loved it, went on like a dream, smudged really easily. And I think that's it for products I'm trying out. I will list everything below. The only thing, like I said, that I wasn't impressed with was this duo, so that's a definite fail on my side. I will list everything and prices, and again, don't forget to subscribe, and I love you guys, and don't forget to hit that thumbs up button if you liked this video. And also, all of my social media is listed below if you want to follow me on my other stuff. I love you guys, and until the next video, smooches. Mwah. Bye.